What's up? What's up? Top of the morning, straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. Hit the like button. Um, we'll go ahead and we'll get right into it, man. I want to give a shout out to the whole entire Lions Den, basketball and as well as boxing communities. We're talking about hoops today. It's gonna be all day hoops. Um, the NBA family has yet again lost another legend, and the Sixers legend. We've lost another one. I'll wait for a few people to get up in here, man, and then we'll definitely go in. I hope everybody feeling all right, man. Seem to be the only one that's up right now. Guess it's because I'm amped because of the NBA final that's going to be taking place later on today. Game two, Mavs and the Celtics, and looking to have a better game for Dallas than the previous game because last game they played terrible. Um, what's up, Mike? I see you in here, man. Now, the NBA has lost truly a legend, and for those of y'all that are too young to remember or weren't even thought of that then, I wasn't even thought of, but if you're a Sixers fan, you know about Chet Walker. What's up, Brown Sugar Beautiful? How you doing, baby? I hope you're feeling better, baby. Okay. Hope you're feeling better. Chet Walker has passed away. He was 84 years old. Chet Walker was instrumental in bringing the first championship to the Philadelphia 76ers in '67, and a lot of people aren't going to really say too much about him, but I'm going to say a lot about Chet Walker. He was a 7-time All-Star. For his career, he averaged about 18, 19 points. Was a tenacious rebounder and defender. His nickname was Chet the Jet. What's up, KJJ? I see you in here, man. And he also played for the Chicago Bulls, and he was a star player there for the Chicago Bulls too. But like I said, he was the key piece when he won that championship with Wilt Chamberlain in '67. Okay, that was our first championship. Of course, when we were the Syracuse Nationals, we won 2 or whatever. But nobody really talks about that though. But he was 84 years old. Now I don't know the causes of his death or whatnot, but it's like more and more we're losing a lot of our legends. Okay, we lost, of course, in football we lost Larry Allen. Okay, and then we lost Bill Walker, man. What's up, Ted? I see you. He was at the small forward position. Everybody always often they talk about the small forward position, and a lot of people don't understand, man, that the small forward position was actually intended. It was intended to be a defensive. It was a defensive anchor, essentially out on the wing, and the the person that I can best describe that plays the small forward position, how it's intentionally supposed to be played, and I don't want people to take everything out of context, but when you look at a guy such as a Michael Cooper, okay, that's how you're really supposed to play the small forward position. Now, of course, there are going to be guys that score a little better. There's going to be guys that might defend a little better. There's going to be guys that could probably shoot a little better. But the small forward position was intended to play that way, and Chet Walker actually played that way. That's, Chet the Jet. I mean, his name, he played really fast, and back in those days, you might look at those guys as stick figures. They played all slow and all that other stuff in black and white. Yeah, right. No, they had the fastest pace during that time. And I want to give a shout out to the brother Too Raw for TV. Definitely go sub to Too Raw. He said something that I think a lot of people don't. They always get misconstrued, and partly because of JJ Redico, think he know it all ass. That's why the Lakers players don't even want his ass there. But Too Raw said this, man. He said that the average height was maybe like a fourth, maybe like a fourth of an inch smaller back in those days. I think it was like 6'10", 6'11", and now the average height is like 6'10", 6'11". So when people say that, like when he was talking about Will Chamberlain, I wanted to say that. I wanted to keep saying that, man. I just never got around to it. But everybody thinks, oh yeah, all Will Chamberlain was playing against with midgets and all that other stuff. No, because you got to think about it. Back in those days, man, they weren't putting all those chemicals and everything, in fast food and all that other stuff. So guys were pretty tall and pretty lanky and stuff. The milk was different. The food was different. Everything was different. A lot of these players, their families actually grew up on farms, so they would have to go milk cows. They would have to go, do the chickens in the chicken coop, and and the pigs that they had back then or whatever. They actually ate healthier than what you see a pig eating now. That's why a lot of people don't really eat pork, because if you know what a pig eats, then you really wouldn't want to eat pork. And it just, everything was different, and then on top of that, a lot of people don't understand that technology actually will destroy your health too. And they didn't have cell phones and all of that other stuff. The only thing that you could probably say was, the industrial. And that was because, working in like the steel mill and, dealing with coal and all that other stuff or whatever. Yes, that would damage your lungs and stuff like that, because the industrial work back then was a popular thing. Well, my bad. You said Pistol Pete died today. Yeah, at 42. Yeah. R.I.P. the great. I remember when Pistol Pete died too, and I'm gonna talk about Pistol Pete. I remember that. I remember that movie he came out with, and he did it. He actually did an interview after the movie, and then I actually tried to do some of his drills, Ted, because his father his father, you know what I'm saying, would always be like, put on a show and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? His father would make him practice and stuff like that. But yeah, I used to like Pistol Pete, man. You had to be tough to play in them days. Yeah, that's right, K to J. You're right. Will Chamberlain played the fastest. Yeah, he did. Elevators were rare. Yeah, you had to take the stairs, man. You had to walk. Um, I think Will Chamberlain had to walk like so many miles to get to practice back and forth and stuff like that, man. It wasn't nothing. Man, y'all don't like. I didn't grow up during that time, but I know about walking to school, man. And like, man, when I got a car, man, dog, I was like the happiest nigga in the world, because I never thought like my mom, like we would ever accomplish that, you know what I'm saying? Because we were struggling, we were going through some stuff, you know what I'm saying? But when I got a car, man, dog, I thought I was a millionaire. But the thing about it is, man, yeah, you had to be tough. It was a mental game or whatever, but it taught you a lot, walking back and forth or whatever. It taught you discipline. But you had to walk to school, so you had to get up early, walk to school. And then on top of that, you're not done yet. You're already tired from walking, but then you gotta, you can't be slacking. You gotta wake up, because your coach is gonna be like, man, if you late, oh, that's it. You're gonna hit the sideline. You're gonna be running. So you had to make sure you was on time for practice. And if you played football or whatever, man, they wanted you on the field. I know at the school that I went to, man, they wanted your ass on the field like it. They wanted like some of the linemen. They wanted some of the linemen there on the field at like 6:45 or some crazy shit like that. They wanted like like the tackles and all that other stuff. They wanted them early. They wanted the running back. They wanted the backs there early, and backs and receivers. And I think the secondary had to be there. The secondary and the backfield had to be there retired. Now, if you was one of the main players, you had to be there early. That was the same thing for basketball. You had to be there, like, man, if you was there at 7 o'clock, which was the time you was actually supposed to be there, the coach was gonna make you run. He wanted you there early to see if you was gonna be working on your game and shit. But yeah, Chet Walker, man, legend for the Bulls and legend for the Sixers. 84 years old, man. He lived a good life, man. Basketball in high school, suicides and wall sits. Yeah, man, we had to do. Man, listen, man, we ran for everything. I remember we ran an entire practice, man, and this didn't even have to do with us. Well, okay. If we got in trouble, like outside of basketball, like, and the coach found out or something like that, like, let's say, because all of the athletes, they used to chill with each other, you know what I'm saying? So even if it was off season, the coach would take notes of what you did. So I remember one time, man, we went to a track meet, and me and my partner, man, he wanted, man, he was begging me to run track, man. I didn't want to run it back then. It was like my end of my sophomore year, because as a freshman I didn't run or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And they had asked me, you pretty fast, da 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 da. I was like, man, I ain't running no track, all this other stuff, because I actually beat one of the good guys that was on there, but we were just racing just to have fun or whatever. They were like, yeah, man, you should run. I was like, I ain't gonna run. But sophomore year, I ended up running. Well, that was stupid, because I got on the track meet or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I got on the track team and stuff, man, and we we got in some trouble, man, on one of the track meets at the hotel and stuff, man. Man, I thought we was okay. We had to end up not only uh, doing gastrics for the football coaches, because it's a whole everybody that coached for football, they pretty much was coaching for track. And then we had to do I don't know what y'all call them, but we used to call them rolls. And what you did is you rolled on the ground, and you had to roll on the ground the length of the football field. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, we had to do bear crawls. You had to do all of that in one setting. So you had to do a gastric. You had to do your gastrics going back and forth from one side of the field to the next side of the field. Then you had to walk over there. Then you had to go do a roll back and forth, and then they made you bear crawl back and forth. We had to do 50 of those. We had to do 50 of those. So Ted and Brown Sugar, you thinking that's done, right? Yeah, right. Nah. He was like, yeah, I just got we just got a call from your coach. Go ahead and meet him at the basketball court. I was like, oh shit. And it would just be him, and then it would be him, my other partner, because he played basketball too. He was like, all right, get your ass on the sideline. You know what to do. Then I ended up having to run for him. It wouldn't be in the same day, but it would be like, a couple of days later or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because the coach had our phone number and shit like that. So, yeah, it was brutal, man. Even if you had stopped playing, what I'm saying is it's like, work never stopped. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 50 of them, man. 50. And you had to finish them, man. Now, sometimes, man, he'll get away, if you like, man, you can't, they like, they'll lecture your ass if you can't do no more and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? They'll give their little spiel. They'll be like, yeah, do you want to end up in jail? Or do you want to end up doing this? He'll be like, yeah, back in my days, man, I want you to be better than me. And you had to sit there, you had to take it. I remember, the coach would come up. See, I don't know about y'all, man, but the coaches would actually come to my house, man. They would come to our houses, you know what I'm saying, and sit down, have dinner, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like some of the assistant coaches and stuff. Sometimes, the coach would come to the hood. Because you got to think about it, man. There were some coaches that actually grew up there, and they would come to the hood. Some of them would hoop with the people that was out on the streets and hoop, and they would be killing them. I remember we had one of our coaches, man. He would come out there, you know what I'm saying? He was from Houston though, but come out there just murdering people or whatever. But then mess with them because when they seen the coaches or whatever, they was actually trying to talk to him. Man, what? Man, you see a dude up in there, man. That nigga be like 15, 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? But he out there trapping. You know what I'm saying? Banging and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying, on the streets. Man, what I got, man? I'm good, coach. I'm good coaching. He was like, man, just go ahead and come out there. Now we actually had a guy, man, actually play all that stuff, you know what I'm saying, and he ended up I think he made the football team or something like that. But he was telling everybody, man, I'm gonna stop doing what I'm doing and stuff. Yeah, man, scared straight. He would. I'm telling you, man, they didn't want no. They actually cared about some of the kids that was there. You know what I'm saying? Now you had some of the white folks, man, that, they had that slave mentality. The only thing they wanted to do was use us, you know what I'm saying, as their little meal ticket, you know what I'm saying? They wanted to use us. Oh yeah, look at that nigga run, that type of mentality. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, especially the black coaches, oh, they weren't gonna let us slip, man. Not at all. Cause my first, my first, wait, my first basketball coach that I ever played for, he was a little short white man. Then my second two black coaches were black. Then I had, when I got to high school or whatever, my coaches were white. Well, we had three coaches. Well, two were white, and then one was black. And then after I got out of high school, my one other coach was black and Hispanic. And then of course when I played semi or whatever, uh, other coach was there was black and a Hispanic cat. You said Buck mentality, yeah, man. But I want to talk about what Jason Kidd had to say about Jaylen Brown. Man, he's been listening to what I've been saying the whole time. Jason Kidd, listen. I'm not the only one that feels the way that Jason Kidd feels about Jaylen Brown being the best player on the Celtics team. Sugar, she gotta agree with me on this. You know what I'm saying? I know she love her some Tatum, but I put it to you like this: that ship don't float without Jaylen Brown. That ship don't float without Jaylen Brown. Hey, really? The Celtics wouldn't even be where they at without Jaylen Brown. They, them finals and them conference finals that they made. Jaylen Brown was a part of that, and not only that, especially in the playoff, Jaylen Brown would be the one, that would be a better clutch player in that situation. Although he could have been a better, closer or whatever, but 9 times out of 10, you looked at Jaylen Brown more of the closer than what he did. Yeah, both ends, and he's made key defensive plays and stuff like that. It's not all about just scoring and stuff like that. I mean, is it a major part of it? Yeah, but that's always going to be the argument right there, because he's actually motivated Tatum to play better defense. You know what I'm saying? So Jason Kidd was a defender himself. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't know if y'all seen it, but I'm pretty sure Ted saw it. But on the community wall, you seen it. I put Jason Kidd when he back in his younger day. Jason Kidd was all over the floor. Jason Kidd was an excellent defender. Tatum reminds me of a younger Paul George minus the defense. Ooh, but Paul George shot a way better percentage than Tatum. You said, do you think Kidd really meant that, or he playing mind games? No, I think Kidd really meant that, KJ. I think he really meant that. You know why? Because Jason Kidd is all about defense first. I don't know if any of y'all see. Some of y'all probably looked at Jason Kidd when he had the bald head and all that other stuff. Man, I've been paying attention to Jason Kidd, man, since he was with the Bears, since California. If see, a lot of people don't understand, and to be honest with you, when I first saw Jason Kidd, I was like, man, there's nothing exciting about him. I remember, man, my cousin, man, he slapped me in the back of my head. He's like, he said, what the hell is wrong with you? Do you see everything that he's doing? I'm like, what? There ain't nothing special about what he's doing. Wow, he's acrobatic. So I started looking at him more, and that's all they would talk about. They would talk about him, and they would talk about Grant Hill, and I started to understand even back then it wasn't even all about scoring, because I was big on like, oh yeah, he ain't really shooting that much and all that other stuff. But I like the fact that he could get to the rim. I like the fact that he could play the passing lane real good. Man, he was always getting steals. He could rebound and stuff like that. He would be flying in to get rebounds over like 7-footers and stuff like that, man, and then go coast to coast. And sometimes he wouldn't even. Sometimes he'll just take it in all the way to rack, but he would push the ball. Yeah. Nah, I remember Kid when he was with the Mavericks, and then he came with the Mavericks. It was him and Jimmy Jackson, and it was Jamal Mashburn, and we had to see him all the time or whatever, because they would show him on our local stations or whatever. Especially being here in Texas, they would show the Mavericks. You know what I'm saying, on either Fox or F. Back in the day there was FSN or whatever. You know what I'm saying. They would show the Mavericks, and it was pretty dope, man. Yeah, he went. Yeah, it was pretty dope. And although they didn't win, you got to think about who they ran up against. Running up against a Kobe and Shaq during that time, man, it wasn't no easy task, especially when you got McCullough in the middle. I mean, there was only so much that you could do with a guy. They were a handful, and you had a young, athletic, freak of nature, Kobe Bryant, that you had to deal with, that could pretty much do everything plus more on the court. That's not an easy thing. That's not easy to put up with. But hey, man, I appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Make sure y'all like this video, share it, subscribe, hit them notifications too. Shouts out to the whole entire Lions Den basketball community, and also, man, I appreciate y'all for showing the love and support for this channel. Um, we're growing strong. I appreciate the new supporters too. Um, if y'all ever want to donate, to straight to the point, man, my cash app is straight to the point 77. If you want to, you know what I'm saying. There's no not forcing anybody. You know what I'm saying. But if you want to, support what I'm doing too, you know what I'm saying, for this channel and the growth of this channel, and also R.I.P to the legend once again, Chet Walker, and condolences to his family, and condolences to both fans of both clubs, the Sixers and as well as the Bulls. Until then, straight to the point, sports and entertainment, man. I'll get at y'all later.